السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome all of you. Welcome you back with your program Fatwa Life. And this comes to you this Thursday, the 20th of February. That comes to you from Mishka Center. The first question: can you accept the donation from non-Muslims to build a mosque? And on the other side, can a Muslim donate to build a church? Or can the Islamic State help the Christians in building their church? Well, the first one about accepting the donation from non-Muslims to help build the masjid or renovate it. The scholars did not put a condition that Islam should be there to build a mosque. So you can accept donation from non-Muslims to build the masjid or to fix it or any of that sort, with a condition. This not will go to will have a condition that will hurt the Muslims or interfere in the religious part of that activities in that mosque. From the evidence of that, the Prophet ﷺ accepting the gift that was given to him from the disbelievers in the two books of Bukhari and Muslim, that the Prophet ﷺ, it is authenticated, he has accepted gifts from the disbelievers. He accepted the gift of Al-Muqawqis, and from it is Maria Qibtiyya, and he had a son. And Al-Bukhari said they accepted the gift from the disbelievers, and then he put a hadith. What Anas ibn Malik narrated that a Jew woman came to the Prophet ﷺ with poisoned lamb, and he brought her, and they told him, "Shall we kill?" He said, "No." So I accepted that from him, ﷺ. And the sale of the Prophet Anas, that the Prophet ﷺ was gifted some silk, and people were amazed that. And then he said, he said, the silk of Sa'd ibn Mu'adh in paradise is better than this. He never used it, alayhi salatu wasalam, by the way. And there's so many evidence that the Prophet ﷺ has accepted the gifts from so many non-Muslims. And one of the gifts that he, alayhi salatu wasalam, gave in return for the gift, because he used to give gifts back, that he gave the security for that village of one of the people. There was no gift, but it was given that the king of gifts, he will give. And he stay with his kingdom. So he is also concerned about his followers, of those who live in him. So the Prophet ﷺ gave him that. In another narration that Ibn Ishaq has mentioned, that someone wrote to him, "In the name of Allah, the Merciful Graceful, this is a peace from Allah and Muhammad ﷺ to that to the village that he lives in." Also, the acceptance of the gift from the disbeliever is part of the good character, to deal people with fairness and goodness. And this is what Allah said: Allah do not forbid you from those who did not fight you in the religion and did not expel you out of your countries, to be fair to them and to be just. Allah loves those who are just. And this is about the goodness of the Muslims to the disbelievers, and that also meaning that it could accept the gift back. Now, can a Muslim give help of their churches, uh, that's a different issue. To to help people in their lively and humanities needs is accepted, and this is part of the goodness that we are ordered to do with the civilians of the Muslims. But to help people on the religion, it has a speciality. It's not for the individuals because that will be to worship somebody else beside Allah. These houses are not built to worship Allah. It was built so somebody else too will be worshipped beside Allah and with partners with Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's why one of the scholars said if a Muslim that a Muslim should not because he put his charity on a sin, like he have to do anything that is harmful, and you should not build the individuals to help on a sin. This is for the individuals, but when it comes to a country or state, it's originally that it should be the stop, but what is allowed for the government is not allowed for others, individuals. It is those who are in charge. They could look at the best interest of the community and the Muslims, especially for those who are outside that Islamic country, because one third of the um, believers are outside its homes. Sometimes you have to look into the help that you are receiving from other countries and you meet that goodness with goodness. And this is something that you have to calculate. This is something is left for the expert and statesman. Second question after that. I work in uh, I have a high car, but because can I pray in the car because it's always uh, there's water and there will be snow. I'm not going to stand up. Can I pray so I could almost like stand up? To stand up, it's part of the farida. And you just sit down only when you cannot stand up. So if it is like you're saying, there's you cannot pray outside because of the rain and the snow, and you cannot do it in the rest areas that's on the road. In order to go back to your house before the time is done. Because of the hadith of Umar ibn Hussein, who he said that he had a sickness and he asked the Prophet ﷺ, he told him to stand up in the prayers. If you can, then sitting down. If you can, then laying down. And this is very evident from the general rule that obligation depends on the capability. But I hope when, if it is just to bend over a little bit the head or something, that it is easier. Anyway, go back to the details that I just mentioned. Can I get rid of uh, commodity because I bought too much and I'm gonna have a lot of loss if I don't sell it? And he's talking about not an original market. It is like after market, and it's like So the Sheikh is emphasizing that to sell something that is not original, first of all, it's a break the law. Second of all, that's considered cheating and deceiving, and that's not allowed in Islam. So you cannot manufacture, nor to sell, nor to make something that you know that is not the original. That's not is right. If you, if the law allows it, then you could allow to sell and buy, and whomever sold from that ignorantly, there is no sin on him. And every Muslim, those who are outside the Muslim countries, that he need to be the best representative of his religion and not to keep people away from Islam. And if so you could sell it with the clarification that this is not the original. If you have shown, then you are free because Hakim ibn Hizam that said that the Prophet ﷺ said that they have the choice, and if they clarified, they are blessed, and if they did nothing, then they are responsible. And another question: I am married and I have kids. I save some money to my kids. I put their money to mine when it's time to zakah, and I make it on all the money I have. But I heard 2 days ago the Sheikh said that you can combine the money to your money to pay the zakah. The zakah, because the gift was not happen except when they receive it. Those kids did not hold that money; they have no possession, so you still they are under your custody, and you are the one who could dispose that money. And this is very clear. If you completely deny it, so bring their money to yours, and you make this account everything. If you said I will do something that swearing, yeah, my son, where did you say that swearing? I mean, I don't see. This is what you are saying. It's just what you are planning to do in the future, whether you pronounce Allah's name or not. And I hope you did not have the normal whispering of the shaitan. And is there any effect on the contract? Of course, it is. The first thing that people are going accountable for it is his prayers. If they accept it, then he is successful. If not, then he has doomed. So the first thing we stress on to take care of your prayers. The Prophet ﷺ said the covenant between us and them is the prayers. Whoever left it, he's not among us. But the scholars they have said you deny it because you don't want it, and also whenever you do that as laziness, and there is two different things. It is the majority that it is one of the major sins. If Allah wish, He will forgive him or He will accept. So we stress again that stay away from that sin, to be lazy on the prayers and to humiliate, forget the prayers. There's hadith about the toughness of the accountability and the word that's going to throw people in the hellfire, and some of the eases in the accountability. So, which way should we? You always have to stay between the hope and the fear. Allah Azza wa Jal has spoke to His kids so they could have. These are the people Allah said they are fearing Allah's mercy. And he told him, how do you find it? He said, I hope from Allah and I fear my sins. He said they did not combine in somebody that Allah will give him what he expects, and Allah will prevent him from what he fears. The hadith of Fatah al could give you that indication. Maybe it is a saying. This is from the science that will not have any the happiness because of death of the disbeliever, or those who are to be happy that somebody because no, there's people who are resting, and some are people are resting from him, from his toughness, or we all like guidance to them, and we wish that they repented. So the death of those who follow the religion, you don't mock them. It's not go to with the politeness of Allah Azza wa Jal and to respect Allah Azza wa Jal, because that's part of what Allah had decreed, and Allah has made it happen in those who are fighting. Allah made them an example for others. As someone is saying, someone said that, oh, if you hear it after Ramadan, then you should be okay. Sometimes you see somebody backbiting somebody, then he will go to somebody else. He's always fluctuating. Is he exposed for the punishment? Well, you need to stop hesitating and not be pure homosexual. The pure honesty is very important. You have to fix the so if you feel weak and you felt going back to the sin, repent again and again. And Allah's repentance will be accepted until the sign comes from the west. And the person will be accepted as long as he is not taking breath away. And everybody who disobeyed Allah, he have made it with Allah, and whoever repented, he have repented close. About the like someone said that the Muslim uh, countries, they are given better deals on the interest from the public treasury. It says halal, but others are haram. And he said, I took my money from the check, checking to the private, but I wanted to try to stay away from the doubtful things and be patient. And the money is losing its currency because it's of the inflation. And his mother didn't have nothing but what she has saved. So the answer, the bonds are not an Islamic investment. Why? Because it is a proof of having a loan, and they give you the interest that is allowed. Also, the original until you pay, and everything increased. It is from the close river. The bonds that are issued by the government, it is part of the loans with interest, and that is forbidden in Islam. No matter who is the side that is given this loan. And the Islamic World Conference, they said the bonds that require to pay certain number, because these are riba part, and you call it, no matter what you call it, it's still the same thing, same principle. So this is the pillars that I hope that you are aware of, or you can end up with it. But whenever you have to, you get rid of the most of the investment is allowed. Some with the so this is the only choice. If it is like that, then you get rid of the interest by taking it to the public issues. And whoever had the money, he is the one who is exposed to whenever there is a need. And Allah knows the best. Someone's asking, and this is the last one. I have some money that the zakah is required from the beginning of Ramadan. I want to buy a house. I am gonna need that money. So what do I do? Do I make the zakah that is over here, or do I wait until I buy the house? Of course, I'm gonna use that money that's supposed to go to pay the account. My son, know the rule. The money, if it reach the time and it is over here, then it is required on the zakah, and it does not matter what you have planned to do. Every money that you have that is reach the money, the dues, and it's been a year, and no matter what is your plans in the future, this has nothing to do with this. You have to pay zakah, even if you could hajj. I did not make hajj. So when the money is for Allah Azza wa Jal, like this is non-profit, and know that no charity is reduced reduce the wealth. ما الله قاعد We'll stop here inshallah. We'll continue in a couple hours. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.